minutes to the Honorable Stacy Plaskett, the Virgin Islands. Beautiful. I visited your district before. It's beautiful. And I know you had a really tough time during the hurricanes. We were in Puerto Rico just a few months ago, and they shared with us the difficulty that you had. So you're recognized for 3 minutes.
Thank you so much, Mr. Chairman, as well as Ranking Member Waltz, for the opportunity to talk about the almost 10% of the population of the Virgin Islands that are veterans. We would have more veterans that remained home in the Virgin Islands, but because of the issues that I'm going to explain to you, why so many of them have to leave their home and move elsewhere. The Virgin Islands currently houses 2 VA clinics, one on St. Thomas and one on St. Croix, but we have no VA hospital. Although the choice program is available in the Virgin Islands, some doctors are hesitant to participate due to delayed payments and being in a small market. This further exacerbates the issue of having only a small number of medical specialists capable of providing necessary service. One example is a veteran who required a heart specialist. Because there was only one working in the Virgin Islands, had to wait 2 months for an appointment. We all believe that this is unacceptable. As a result of the limited resources, many veterans must communicate with and travel to the VA hospital in Puerto Rico, which leads to some major issues. The first, of course, is that for veterans in the Virgin Islands, often they have to pay up front for their airfare and a night at a hotel in Puerto Rico due to appointment times and limited airline schedules. There may be hardships when they have to bring a companion along, depending on their care needs. Second, there are communication, language barriers that often occur. And third, there is some numerous complaints that our office has heard about disadvantage and perceived prejudices that they have in the VA hospital in Puerto Rico because of race, issues of residency as well. Virgin Islands veterans also complain that they must exert unnecessary efforts to prove their disabilities are service-related in order to receive the benefits they deserve. Vietnam-era veterans in particular have expressed concerns about their burden of proof that post-traumatic stress disorder and exposure to Agent Orange are results of their military service. Despite the VA's recent efforts to revisit this issue, many veterans and their families believe too little has changed and that new efforts are inadequate for the population that place their lives on the line for this country. All American veterans deserve a commitment from their country, and government that properly care will be provided regardless of their geographic location. As hospitals in the Virgin Islands are being reconstructed after our hurricanes, one of the things that I thought would be very creative and helpful would be a request that the Department of Veterans Affairs and the House and Senate Veterans Affairs Committee consider funding a new component of the hospital system as we rebuild the hospitals in the Virgin Islands dedicated to veterans and capable of accommodating more severe health care needs than the clinics alone can provide. Thank you for consideration and encourage you to increase the federal commitment to the veterans of the U.S. Virgin Islands. And you're welcome to come down and speak with them and visit our island as well. We'd be appreciative and love to have you.
Thank you. Just a couple of items I want to go over. You mentioned the disability. This committee has tried to try to pay attention to that with the bill we passed last year. It's not just the Virgin Islands. We have people that are waiting 5, 6, 7 years to get their claim adjudicated, and we've got a RAM process now. And you might have your staff look at that.
Okay.
It'll help speed that up for some of these veterans that might. So that's one thing. 2, the delayed payments. In this bill we're going to debate and vote on this afternoon, if a clean claim is submitted, and I certainly have people in my own, I have 2 of my own doctors that take care of me that have hundreds of thousands of dollars of money that hadn't been paid to them yet by VA. And it's causing our physicians, especially when the margins are so narrow now for these physicians, they can't afford to see the patient because your cardiologist down there is busy, right, and you must pay him. And so there's a penalty now. If he submits a clean claim, an electronic claim in 30 days, if that doctor isn't paid, he or she isn't paid, then the VA has to pay an interest payment to that on that money. And the second thing, we just heard a little bit ago about some of our veterans having their credit destroyed. We've heard that, and certainly that's a lot of non-payment that's going on. So we're going to help. We're going to work on clearing that up. And I just wanted to pass along to you. You're in, as Mr. Sablon, who used to serve on our committee. When you're at a great distance, it does put some other stresses on our veterans who live there. Your idea is one that I certainly am open to, which is to take in, as they build these hospitals, maybe dedicate a wing that could be, and certify the physicians there as VA doctors. So we like that
I think
idea.
that would be really helpful in terms of the distance, you know.
Yes.
There's the 40 miles, which we have. Also under choice says that then the medical doctors that are there could utilize veteran services, but if we have the facility, that would really be helpful.
When you vote yes this afternoon on our bill, you will eliminate the 40 miles. You'll solve that problem.
Well, I'll consult with Mr. Waltz about where he says I should be on that, and I'll get back with you.
Thanks very much. Thank you. Now